thought you knew, son. Oh man, I done got that white balance locked in now. I was wondering, I was like, why am I not exposed properly? I am. It's fine. It's how the light's hitting. Anyways, let's jump straight into it, right? So I was talking to my boy the other day, because I got 3 jobs, right? I got my full-time main job, my 9 to 5. And then I got 2 part-time jobs in the caregiving industry. The primary job is in like construction / telecom, but the other 2 are caregiving, but they're for 2 demographics of people. One, I take care of my neighbor, Bill, who lives downstairs from me. Come on, Doc. And then I caretake for my buddy. We're like brothers. We go back to kids, being childhood friends, and he's got kids of his own now, and so he actually, it was funny story. So like a couple months back, he was telling me he had gotten this new job, or he got this new place, and his caregiver, the lady that was watching his kids, he was saying that she was constantly showing up late. One day he came home and the baby boy was running around with a soaking, heavy, dirty diaper. So she wasn't changing the diapers. The place would be a mess. And so I made a joke, like tongue in cheek, and I was like, man, she better step her game up before Uncle Don comes in and takes her job and shows her how it's done. And in a jokingly way, I didn't expect anything from it, but homie got the bright idea in his head. He's like, that's a great idea. Would you actually consider that? And I said, well, hold up, my boy. I was kind of joking, but I mean, let's talk numbers. Let's see what we can work out. So we worked something out, long story short, and I think later that week we did a trial run. It worked out great, and I've been watching the kids ever since then. It's just for 2 days a week. Bill's for 3 days a week. And so I wanted to give all that context as a preface for a discussion that I had with a buddy of mine the other day. And he was telling me, and shout out to the homie, Logan. He was, come on, Doc. He was like, man, I hate to see you, breaking your neck, carrying 3 jobs just to make it by. And I was like, and I told him, he's like, why don't you just change jobs and get a primary job that will essentially pay you as much as what the other 2 jobs are doing. So I had to break it down to him, and I told him, I said, listen, man, if we're being honest, like the primary job, if I was just doing that, yeah, I'd just be making it by. I have the other jobs as extra income to make it feel like I'm not just barely keeping my head above water, because I got a good paying job. That's what's crazy. I have a great paying job, but the economy is so shit right now. It doesn't matter how great of a job it is. But anyways, so I was telling him, I said, listen, man, for me to go find a job to pay me as much at the end of the month, take home in my pocket, I'd have to get a job that was making like $50 an hour, or if it's not $50 an hour, $40 an hour, with at least like 20 hours overtime to make that same amount. And I said, to be honest, it's not worth it. I said, for a few reasons. One, the flexibility. Now, I told him, I said, I get it. If I was working 3 full-time jobs just to skimp by, just to make it by, of course I'd drop 1 or 2 or all three to go find another one, because obviously that wouldn't be, none of them would be a good paying job. I said, but with the flexibility that's offered from all three of these jobs, I can avoid having to work an additional, 20 hours mandatory on top of my already 40-hour work week, to make the same amount, and also have the time. See, the time is of the utmost important. The time is what's most valuable to me, and the fact that all three of these jobs offer me a flexible schedule to where I still get my weekends off. Huge. So I'll break it down for what I mean by flexibility. So my main job, we used to be fully from the office pre-COVID. When COVID hit, they had us work from home and figured out that we could do the job remotely. Fantastic. About 6 months ago, they're trying to reintroduce us to the office, like a lot of places are, but they're not doing it full time. You don't have to come back to the office full time. You only have to come back 2 days a week, and they gave you the option whether you wanted what's known as a flex schedule, which means that you could choose whatever 2 days you want, or a fixed schedule to where it'd be like a set 2 days that you got to be in office these 2 days regardless of what happens. Knowing myself, I chose the flex schedule, and what's cool about that, so we work from home 3 days of the week, only got to work from office 2 days a week, and even before COVID or anything, we've always had the option to have a flex schedule for even the time that we start work. So we could start anywhere between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Super dope. So you have the option to choose to work anytime within that window on any given day of the week. So on Monday, I could come in at 6 a.m. For example, like today, like I did. Tomorrow probably won't be the same. I might hop in at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Might be a late start where I hop on at 9 a.m. I have that flexibility and that option to do so. So that's dope. Off rip, flexibility from job number one, which is pretty much the foundation and the basis of why I can do the other jobs anyway. So, being that I can start anytime between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., that also means as long as I get my 8-hour shift somewhere in there, I can get off of work anytime between 2:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. on any given day. Cool, so we got that knocked out, right? The other job, working with Bill downstairs, I work with him Mondays, Tuesdays in the evening times, and that job also offers flexibility. Now it's only 2 hours a shift per day, so I'm sorry, the days are Monday, Tuesday, and then it's alternating Thursdays and Fridays. So 1 week it'll be Thursday, the next week it'll be Friday, the next week it'll be Thursday, and so on and so forth. So those are in the evenings for only 2 hours, and even that's flexible. I can realistically bring Bill his food at 6 p.m. and sit there, chop it up with him, hang out for a little bit, and wrap it up by 8 p.m. Now, if I got to do something, what's super cool is I can kind of cut that short. Like if I got plans or I got to go like take care of something, I can say, hey Bill, I got somewhere to go. Like for example, on Thursdays or Fridays when I got the kids, if I gotta be there a little earlier or whatnot, calling in a favor for the homie, I can say, hey Bill, I gotta be out of here by said time. No issue. And then so that's the second job, offers flexibility, and like 2 hours in the evenings for a couple days a week. It's not neck breaking work. It's not anything that's like too ridiculously over strenuous. So there's that. And then the third gig, it used to be when I'd watch the kiddos, it'd be Friday, Saturdays, but now it's Thursday, Fridays. And so like I said, because I got the other job, the main job that allows me to flex when I want to work in office. As long as I work in office either Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, that means I got Thursday, Friday that I can work from home, aka work from his home watching the kids. And it's great. It works out perfectly. So like being able to do all of that, and it sounds like a lot, and it can be sometimes, but it's not, because of how flexible the schedules are. It's not like nothing has to be set in stone, like you have to be here at this time, da 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 da, right? It's very at my whim of how I want to like have it play out, which is great. So I had to explain this to the homie, like, hey man, yeah, I could quit my great paying job and try to go find another one that will probably pay around the same or just a little bit more if I could. But aside from the pay, I like what I do. I'm good at what I do. I know how to do it in the processes and systems at this company that I'm with, and I love the people that I work with. I can't get that same guarantee like going somewhere else. I mean, it's one thing to like what you do and be good at it, but to like what you do, be good at it, and enjoy doing it with the people that you work with is huge. Matter of fact, dare I say, I know we're all working for some money, but I can just tell you, like, when you actually enjoy what you do and the people that you enjoy that you do it with, you don't have much incentive to try and leave to go elsewhere to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather work somewhere for $25 an hour and enjoy what I'm doing with the people that I'm doing it with, as opposed to going somewhere for $30 an hour. And even if I'm still enjoying what I do, but I don't like the people I do it with, or my manager or supervisors just all down my neck, and I don't have those problems here. That situation wouldn't be worth the $5 increase in hourly pay. Dare I say even even a $10 increase. If it was $35 an hour, I'm good. I got Bill and the kiddos that I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I can forego on all that. So I explained that to the homie. He's like, hey man, I appreciate you looking out for your boy. Appreciate you, you're genuine, because it was genuine concern. He just didn't want me to burn myself out. And I get it. If I had 3 full-time jobs, it would absolutely lead to burnout. No questions asked. But, I like that framing. Okay. Hey, shout out to the Mac. Shout out to Harley Mac. He knows what good framing looks like. Hold up, let me see. And that's it right there. Anyways, so I explained this to the homie, and I said, I appreciate you looking out for your boy. I really do. It's good to have good friends like that. But I was like, I'm not burning out. And at the point where I think I'm about to burn out, hey man, I'll have to drop one of them and be like, hey man, this just ain't working anymore. Probably ain't gonna be my main job, so it'll probably be one of the other ones. But until we get to that point, which I don't foresee us getting there anytime soon, because like I said, it's not back-breaking work, and in fact it's quite enjoyable. Naturally, I'm a caregiving kind of personality anyway, like just in real life. Like I genuinely care for people and their well-being, and so it's cool to be able to give care at different stages of life, right? And to experience the different stages of life. So like when I'm watching the kids, I get to be a kid again. I get to like get in touch with my inner kid and get excited about watching cartoons and kicking it with the kids and making, a cool breakfast and snacks for them, and having throwing pillow fights at each other and whatnot. Like we just be kicking it and having fun. And I'm gonna be honest, that's some of the easiest money I've ever made, because it's cool, because I just get to kick it with with kids that they're not my kids. I see them as like my niece and nephew, so I love them regardless. So essentially, I get to kick it with people that I love and get paid to do so. Dope. You're winning. And they're fairly well behaved kids, so that helps. Trust me, if they're badass kids, I probably couldn't do it because that would be stressful. and I ain't trying to stress over someone else's kids. But and then kicking it with Bill, I get that. Well, backtrack. So I get to kick it with the kids, get in touch with my inner child, and then I do my regular 9 to 5 adulting job, chopping it up, doing good work with my peers, and then in the evenings I get to kick it with Bill and essentially get in touch with my old man, my old soul, the old man that's inside, and chop it up with him, and just be carefree in it, but in a different way. Most of the cares of our lives take place in that middle ground where we're adulting. But you're carefree as a kid, and most of us have already experienced that. But also, there's a certain level of carefreeness to being a senior citizen, and I'm sure we'll get to experience that soon enough. Because the way time's flying, it won't be long. But anyways, I gotta get back in here, get back to work. I just wanted to hop up in here, say what's up to y'all. It's been a minute, it's been a couple days, but yeah, it was an interesting topic of discussion, and I've been meaning to, because I know everyone else on here, you kind of get a glimpse of like what they do for their work or their 9 to 5, and I'll get more in detail about like what I do, probably not necessarily where I work per se, but I'll tell you about what I do, because it's actually pretty dope. It's one of those in the cut kind of jobs that's like super low key, that you would never even really think about, or that you would think to like go out and seek. So I'm blessed in that sense. It was it came at the right time in life, and I'll tell you guys about that story another time as well. But yeah, we'll jump in there. But anyways, I gotta get back to it, so I'm gonna catch you on the flip side. Yee! Off the dribble.